Welcome back to React TV, and today we have another Kountry Wayne skit recap from the Kountry Wayne skit universe. This scene is all about Sunny. We think she's pregnant, but we don't know for sure. So, when we last saw Sunny and Joslyn, she was supposed to have ordered a pregnancy test from DoorDash. It's going to be delivered today, and Joslyn is going to stop by to make sure she takes the test. So the episode begins with Sunny standing in the kitchen holding the pregnancy test. She is looking nervous. Joslyn knocks at the door and she tells her it's open, and Joslyn comes in. She says, hey, how you feeling? She says, I don't know. She says, we got action today? She says, yes. Sunny leans her head back. She says, Joslyn, if this test comes back positive, I'm going to jump off a bridge. Joslyn says, don't say that. If it comes back positive, we're having a baby, and it's going to be so sweet, and it's going to be so loved. She says, and you can't be jumping off no bridges, because then that would be murder. Sunny says, well, dang. She says, well, you have a baby in you. She says, well, you know what? Don't worry. Whatever happens, it's going to be okay. Okay, you're not alone. I'm here. You have a village. You have your family, and whether you want to receive it or not, you do have Mike. So Sunny goes and takes the pregnancy test. She comes out. Joslyn reads the test. It's 2 lines. She's pregnant. They stand together. Sunny says, I don't know about having this baby. She says, you have to tell Mike. Call him and let him know. She says, I feel so stupid. She says, you're not stupid. They hug, they embraced, and now we're going to jump to Mike and Sunny. So, the episode starts out with Mike at the door, knocking frantically. Sunny makes her way to the door and lets him in. Mike comes in. He says, I've been calling your phone. I've been blowing you up. I went to the gym. Oh, well, Mike, she's pregnant by a man who has a woman living with him. Let her adjust to the pregnancy, because you know what? You and Melissa, if she makes up with you, you guys will not have the baby like she will have the baby all the time if she decides to keep the baby. And I blame both of you guys for just having some wild, reckless sex. And you knew that you had someone at home, and she knew you had someone at home. And you know what? You better hope you don't have hood twins. So he keeps going on. He says, I've been over to Joslyn because Rafi told me that you were late. So do we need to take a test or something? She stops him and she says, Mike, I already took a test and I'm pregnant. She hands him the test. He looks at it and he shakes his head. I feel like he should have given her a hug or something. I did not like his whole attitude when he came in. He was very business with her. And you know what? We didn't make this child together. Don't do me like that. So he goes into, well, do you know who the father is? Is it me? And you know what? It is offensive, but he asked her, and I'm glad he asked her right now, then and there. Even though he knew what he did with her, because he was bragging about it to Jacoby. She says, Mike, do I know who the father is? It's you. She says, you're the only one I've been with over the last couple of months. And even the last year, except for that one person, it's been you. He puts his head back and he starts calculating. He said, was it enough time? He said, okay, well, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing. It's a real question. She says, Mike, it's yours and I would not play with you like that. He looks down and takes a deep breath. He tells her, well, you know what? I'm going to have to go tell Melissa. Yes, you are. Tell her while you're on your way home so she can start packing her bags up and go ahead and rent her a U-Haul so she can take the rest of her things over onto the storage and back to Uncle Doodle's house. He looks at Sunny. He says, all right, okay. Oh my gosh. He turns around and walks away with his hand over his mouth. Meanwhile, Sunny's just sitting there with her back against the wall and her arms folded. He is like, give me a hug, Mike. Tell me it's going to be okay and reassure me that you want this child or that you're going to be there for me. But, you know, I don't know. I did not like Mike's response. You did that with Sunny. You act proud about it. And then you treat her like a stranger when you find out you're the father of her child. So he looks at Sunny. He said, well, did you tell anybody else? She says, Joslyn. Then he says, so you didn't tell your father. You didn't tell your sister. Are you going to ask me to have an AB? Because that's what this sounds like. He says, well, he gives her a pregnancy test. He says, well, I don't know what to do. You know, let me know about the prenatal or whatever, and we'll figure it out. He looks really stressed and he starts walking towards the door, and then he takes a step back and he gives her a hug. She is looking very like, I want to run to you. Well, that's the end of this recap, cousins. Thanks for watching Ro Reacts TV. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.